Okay, today I'm going to talk about sports because it's a broad topic that a lot of people are interested in, and it can serve as a great analogy for exactly what is wrong with the world today. Um, if you're American or if you follow the National Football League, you know by now that the regular officials have been, or referees have been locked out, and now you have replacement referees, many of whom had never refereed at the professional level, let alone even the higher collegiate level. A lot are Division 3 referees, and at the collegiate level, you have Division 1, which is the highest, Division 2, and then Division 3. So you have some of the lowest level collegiate referees now officiating a game that is much too fast for them to process. A game in which the rules are entirely different than that at those of the collegiate level, so they're making lots and lots of mistakes, and there's been a big uproar among fans. The latest blunder in a series of comical blunders for the past 3 weeks was the last Monday Night Football game between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if you just bear with me for a second, you'll see why I'm using sports as an analogy for what is wrong with society overall today. So in that game, and I'm a nonpartisan viewer of that game because I'm neither a fan of the Green Bay Packers nor the Seattle Seahawks. Neither do I dislike either team, so it really makes no difference to me who wins. But on a totally objective level, to me, it was clear that there was an interception at the end of the game. However, the referee awarded a touchdown on a fought over football in the end zone, the last play of the game. So that, in essence, awarded the game to the Seattle Seahawks when, in my opinion, the Green Bay Packers should have won the game. So now the replacement referees, an inferior product that the owners have placed on the field, have cost teams, are starting to cost teams wins and losses. Okay, so, and in addition to that, they're actually jeopardizing players' safety as well because there's been lots of scrums between players because these referees aren't seasoned enough to control the player. So a lot of plays go beyond the whistle. There's a lot of things that they're not catching, a lot of between players as far as confrontations and altercations that lead to tempers flaring up throughout the game. And then there's been lots of scrums that the regular officials probably would have kicked certain players out of the game, but they leave people in the game so the players know they can get away with stuff. So this is now threatening even player safety. So here's the problem that I have, because a lot of fans have been complaining and saying this is awful, that the owners should bring back the regular referees, just pay them a little more money and settle it. And here's the problem I have with the whole thing. It's because the people have the power to change the situation. Except they don't want to take the personal responsibility of doing so. Because all the fans would have to do is just boycott next week's games. No one show up at the stadiums. Nobody watch it. So the Nielsen ratings, wherever the TV ratings are called, would basically plunge through a bottomless pit. And the owners will understand that, okay, now they're going to start losing money on, they're putting out an inferior product. But the problem is the owners know the fans won't stop watching, even though they are screwing the fan out of a decent game. They know they could put an inferior product because it all comes down to money. It's all about money. And as long as the money's coming in, the owners will continue to put an inferior product out there. Now, how this translates to other parts of society, it's because sports is a perfect example of what's going on in the NFL, of the fact that corporations have basically taken over society. They have more power they control the legal system, they control the judges, they control basically what is legal and what is illegal, even though it has nothing to do with morality. It has to just do with keeping the corporate interests in power. That's, most laws don't have anything to do with morality anymore, besides your, black and white laws like murder, robbery, rape, and so forth. But a lot of the laws today have nothing to do with morality. It's just because the corporate interests, the moneyed interests, are making all the laws, and they make all the laws to favor themselves and to keep themselves in power. So, when we look at it, it's basically you have corporations now that are running amok, that are basically running totalitarian microcosms of society in their own world, that are basically run by dictators that overrun the Constitution. I mean, when you look at the NBA, you have NBA commissioner. Well, first of all, NFL commissioner Peter Goodell, I believe Goodell is his name. Like, obviously does not give a damn about what's going on as long as he's making money, as long as the owners don't give a damn, as long as they're making money. That's all that matters. The greed is good mantra of Wall Street is back. Nothing else matters. Morality does not matter. What is right, what is wrong does not matter. It just comes down to money. And you can even look at that analogy and extend to the NBA, because why in the world do we accept that NBA Commissioner David Stern should be able to fine players and owners for speech? So in other words, if an owner talks like Mark Cuban talks out against poor officiating, and even if he's right, even if the officiating was horrendous and terrible, David Stern can fine him $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. And people say, well, Mark Cuban's a billionaire, so who cares? Because that's like $1 or $2 to me. That's not the point. The point is, why does the NBA get to suspend the First Amendment, freedom of speech? That is ridiculous. That should never, ever happen where the NBA commissioner, because he wants to protect the money and he wants to protect, the income of his private organization, that he can dictate what people can or cannot say, even when there's no hate speech involved, even when the truth is involved, that he can basically stymie the truth and fine people. That is ridiculous that corporations can suspend the Constitution. And that's what it's come down to, because people have the power. If the fans were disgusted with David Stern's totalitarian actions, then they can stop watching the games. People don't understand. That's what I don't get. People have the power, because there's 6.8 billion of us in the world, and we have more power than corporations. But yet, we will not act. And this is what irks me to no end too about what's going on as far as the total chaos and destruction of wealth that commercial bankers and central bankers are inflicting upon people all over the world. We have in the commercial district of Athens, Greece, now fully 1/3 of all businesses have been shuttered now since the financial crisis started. So obviously, we have things that are going on with our monetary system that are destroying livelihoods, are destroying families, and yet people can't understand the actions that we have collectively as a people to enforce our will upon the corporations. Because when it comes to banking, again, banking employees should walk away. If they all walk away from the banking industry, then the worker bees, without the worker bees, the queen bees like Jamie Dimon, the queen bees like Lloyd Blankfein, like Christine Lagarde will all die. So the worker bees have a say, but the worker bees will not walk away, because we judge things not by what is right and wrong today, but we judge things by what people tell us to do. So if we're within a certain corporation, someone says, this is the law, who cares if it overruns the Constitution? We say, okay, that's how it is, even though we have the power to change that. If you work in the financial services industry and you say, oh, it's okay because this is illegal, but legal does not mean moral. See, that's where people's character has to come in play, because people do not have the character today and the backbone to say, I know this is immoral, I know we're lying, we're cheating, we're deceiving our clients, we're destroying lives, but they rationalize that it's okay because the bankers control, the corporations control the laws, they made vastly immoral things legal, so people say, oh, it's not wrong because it's not illegal, and they don't walk away. People have the power to change things. So just remember that. This is the message we need to spread, that collectively we have the power to change things, but it takes courage to change things. So we must spread this message, and we must regain our courage. Thanks for watching, and until next time.